Because we had like 70 tags, and it was like Freddy got, or not, Charlie bit my finger, and like fucking how to tie a tie, and like all the classic YouTube hot clickers. Girls kissing, I think, was in there, which fits well with this movie. No, there was no was there any lesbianism? There was some tits.
Internet Archives. Internet Archives is back now. Actually, it was only for like a day. It was just funny with that day.
What?
Internet Archive is back.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Oh, okay. It came back? All right, good. Well, either way, f'dupmovies.com is still a good website.
That's okay.
But you can't watch anything on there. You can only watch fucked up shit. Like, the only movies I've seen on there are Happiness and this. So you can only really watch, like, some of those movies.
This being just... Well, I think I was pretty apt with it. It's the opposite world, Requiem for a Dream. What's going on with cats?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I think I can hear you guys now. It was like, I don't know. Okay. This might not. Yeah, maybe my phone doesn't like streaming.
Phone might not like streaming. So you don't even have like you don't have any computer at all. Now you went back to work, you fucking wage slave.
Yeah, no, I did.
You're too much of a cheap Jew.
I could do this at the office. I could have just. I could have. Well, yeah, I wasn't gonna buy a laptop this week. I kind of want to buy like one of those like little slim AirBook ones, or not an Apple one, I guess. But you know, my laptop that I currently have that I need to fix is like 10 pounds, but it needs a solid state drive. So, what can you do? What can you do? I think it's better now, though.
We're talking about your video's not coming through at all for me, but I can hear you pretty well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting like a frame every couple.
That's good. I mean, hold on. Okay, let me just go on data.
Are you trying to stream from your phone? Are you trying to like do the stream on YouTube from your phone?
I don't think he is, Brant. I don't think he would do that.
God damn, that'd be at least nice if he was.
It would be nice, but he's not doing that.
I'm streaming, though.
Like right now?
Yeah, we were live.
Live?
Yeah, we've been live for a second. I had that Spam Masubi set up, but then now Cass is just I don't know, he's now fucking a corpse, I guess, in the garden shed.
I think you might jump the gun a little bit, Brant. We're nowhere near prepared. We're nowhere near prepared, dude. My beers are still frozen.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a mistake.
This was a mistake. This whole thing was kind of a mistake, to be honest. I think we should stop being friends. I think I never should have invited you into my inner circle of my college friends, Brant. I don't think you should have ever been allowed to come near us. I think you're the kind of friend that I used to have, Brant.
Okay.
I can't. I'm just joking. You know, I'm just joking, right?
You're just putting me through so many emotions. I don't know, man. So many emotions that I felt while
Do you think your tits were real?
Yeah, everything was real. Except for the poop, probably. Maybe, though. I don't know.
No, the poop was well, I don't know if her tits were real because she was squirting a lot. Yeah.
You guys really think the milk was real?
I don't think that all the milk was real. The cream on the floor wasn't real.
Because I'm just saying, it was a low-budget film. Are they going to buy milk, or are they just going to get like something else that's of a cheap?
It did look watery. You know what?
Well, no, I see. Like, were they real tits?
Milk, maybe.
Is the question I had.
What if it was
like, at least for the first one.
Oh, are you talking about the second, or like the reporter girl that he kills?
I'm talking about the milk shooting. I'm talking about follows the puzzle pieces, finds the guy, sits on the couch, gets squeezed, shoots milk, and then the fucking serial killer's son watches the milk splash.
And she has crazy tits. Yeah, I know. She has like those really pointy nipples.
Yeah, no, those are some elite. See, like, I think she must have, I don't know, either she was like fucking nursing at the time or she was wearing fake tits or something,
I
because
think that's
those were
just
some
how like
incredible.
older women's nipples look back before these heathens and sodomites started selling breast pumps so that our young men couldn't mule properly at a young age and develop a strong fucking jawline.
Strong jawline, dude. You need to mule. You
Okay,
need to mule. You need to suck. You
so
need
you're
to give your
saying that
kids
You need to be sucking
fucking
titties
well done steak.
24/7.
okay. She
They need
hadn't
to
been
mule.
sucked since her kid was he was a little baby. That's how they got like that because he just sucked her dry and she hasn't been
Dude,
milked
no,
since.
because that kid beat the shit out of his mom. That is not a kid who sucked her dry. That is a kid who gave up the tits early.
Yeah, that's good.
God.
Also in
Mm.
Japan, I think that it's a little shameful. Like, I think you do it through a hole in a bed sheet when you nurse a kid in Japan.
I was immediately uncomfortable with the kid. Like that was the thing too. I guess maybe that's why heroin was used, because like I felt really bad for the mom for this kid just beating her, and then like the moment she started heating up a spoon, I was like, maybe not actually.
It explained it a little bit. That was an interesting thing
If you're
about this
getting
movie.
if you're getting beat by your son, and you just want to like make the pain go away, heroin's probably one of the better drugs you could do. Honestly,
Yeah, the question I had on it
he's not doing
was
that.
like fucking. No, you're right there, Cats. I'm just saying the question I had on it was she doing heroin and that was why she was a shitty mother and got beat by her son, or is she doing heroin because her
Because she
son
beats
beats
by
the
her
shit out of her?
son, who's being bullied
Yeah,
by
I mean, that's what she's
some
doing heroin
punks.
for now, but I'm just asking
we
a
don't
chicken
really
egg
find
situation.
out. Yeah, we never really get an answer to that question. So it's
Well,
like
it's also
maybe
very like
maybe
Whatever. It's just who she is. She's
Yeah.
the heroin lady.
Did I have
There's
a
a lot
proper
more than
introduction
that,
to this?
man.
Did anyone introduce this film at all to all our audience out there?
Well, you
I
know the
feel
one thing
I
I
tried
want
to,
say
but then
about
the
this,
phone was
Cat.
glitching out.
There's
People
no
even know?
reason to. This shouldn't be introduced. This is an uncomfortable film.
Did you not like this movie,
Cats, you
Brant?
didn't even
There's
say.
so
You
much
didn't
violence
even
against
say-
women in this, and not like a fun based way, like oh man, he just really wants to hurt women. Ugh.
Cats, you didn't even
But then the
say,
ending
just so
really-
you know, this is a more fucked up kind of movie. Like, this one's not going to
weird.
be an easy one. You didn't warn us at all that this was going to be one of those.
Oof.
Yeah, I thought I did.
I watched
honestly.
E.G. the
Yeah.
Killer after this too, and I was just like, it's just all of it's just he just hurts women. He loves hurting women.
Each of the
Yeah,
Killer
this one really felt like he
even
was
better.
jerking off.
Oh, just
Ichi was a maybe he was
Very
jerking
well.
off. Probably he was jerking off, but this one he was definitely jerking
there was
off.
cum. That's what all that breast milk was just his
it
cum.
reads like a Rule 34 like comic. The whole thing looks like one of the like a big hentai comic or something like that.
There was
I don't know.
like the fucking the dead body scene and both the milk squirting scenes went on way too long. Also the fucking raping in the bushes scene. And the making the kid shit scene. It is also like you can't say it went on way too long because that's just how the Japanese do. They like to linger.
It just kept going.
Yeah, but those scenes were
Film,
great.
I
Like the
mean,
fucking
I'm
the
not
dead
saying-
body scene is one of the best jokes. I love that joke, honestly, where he thinks the corpse is getting wet for him and it's just the shit.
I thought it was gonna be blood, but then it made sense that it was shit.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he picks
I thought
her
that
up.
was hilarious. That was good.
Puts like, you know what? At the very least, wow, those were some really good Japanese actresses playing corpses. They were very convincing.
Yeah,
corpses.
I saw her breathe. At
Like
one point.
once
Hey,
or
you know that
twice.
was another good thing about this movie.
Yeah.
Was like, I love me a movie, a low budget movie where you see the boom. Like I love me a low budget movie where you see the boom. I saw the boom
There
3
was so
times.
much boom. I'm glad I would have forgotten about that. But there was so much boom in this.
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't know. There's something about it that just makes me like, oh, they're making. Everybody fucks up.
That's weird too.
Some of
'cause,
it felt like they thought they were going to crop that out, honestly, because some of it was in there for like a solid 10, 15 seconds. I don't know.
Well, when was this movie made? because this was probably shot on film stock, and you can't really crop in shit like that without
like
fucking it up
stuff.
more.
Yeah, I think it was like 90s.
Yeah, no, it was like at the
90s.
same time that Slacker came out. And Slacker is the other like big one where I'm like, everybody fucks up because there's a boom pole in that movie at one point.
Yeah.
So it was that same sort of era where it was just like you can't really crop it in without fucking up other shit in the shot. So especially because they were both movies with really long takes. So they were just like fucking, it was just whatever. Just there's a boom in. And I love that. Like a lot of people we know, a lot of like fucking really nerdy people would be like, oh, we have to do everything. I don't care if it hurts the shot. We gotta get rid of that boom. It ruins the immersion. But I love when people are just like, fuck it. You know you're watching.
I didn't notice it at all, to be honest.
Nowadays, they'd hire some guy with a college degree, and they'd hire him for $12 an hour to like Photoshop it out of the shot, frame by frame.
Yeah,
that would just be his job. No, that's people's jobs nowadays. People just make mistakes in films. I remember being in film class and seeing what the professor actually did. Yeah, they just shot right in front of telephone pole. So I just had to edit out a whole telephone pole in this field and shit like that. And they could have just pointed it a different direction, but they didn't. And I was like, that sucks. I don't know. But it's kind of funny.
He was feeling that hill. That's all it was.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know. I think I liked this movie. It was just like, I don't know. Like, I see, like, the problem I have with it is I feel like this is just like what it's like to be Japanese.
In like the worst way.
Like the first sex scene at the beginning, I was like, that just looks like what it probably is like for them.
Not the fun anime sparkle disco. It's just a sad part of Japan.
Yeah, no, just like kind of awkward, like, oh, is it okay? And then just like coming really fast, literally doubling over in a shame position. Like, that's exactly what I pictured.
It feels like an authentic nightmare version of Japan. Like, it feels like the most authentic nightmare. Like, it feels like Japan's happiness, honestly. I guess
it feels like Japan's happiness.
He still hasn't seen that movie yet, but.
It feels like Japan's happiness if it was just the family scenes, because there's some warmth and happiness in happiness, but not the family scenes.
Well, there's warmth in this movie, but the warmth is so plentiful, I guess, that it's not really warmth, but they're happy.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I felt legitimate happiness after, like, cutting to fucking, like, that scene, that part where he, like, has the rock and he's about to hit the guy's fucking prostitute daughter. And then just cuts to her walking into the house. I was like, for some reason I feel warm inside about that.
Sure.
Oh, because it reunited the family, and it showed that the way you reunite a family is a bunch of tit milk and 3 rocks. And that's how you do it.
Yes.
So wait, is the prostitute in the beginning
what was
his
Visitor
daughter?
Q? Why is it called Visitor Q?
The prostitute at the beginning was his daughter. They make that very clear from the scene where his wife tries to suck his dick.
I don't remember. Man, they all look the same.
Yeah, no, I had that problem. I reminded myself that I'm racist.
I couldn't tell the boys apart from the kid.
Was his daughter. Because he was yelling about the whole, like, I don't last long enough thing. But I guess,
I didn't know, like...
Well, his wife smelled his daughter on his crotch. His wife went down to, like, give him a blowjob, and she smelled his daughter. Like,
I thought she was like, oh, that's just pussy.
No. She was like, that's my daughter. That's my daughter on his crotch. That was,
and it says...
That was a pretty good detail.
And I didn't realize how fucking clear... Because it only has those, like, title cards... That, like, because I thought it was going to break the movie into chapters of, like, title card taboo kind of shit. Because the first title card says, have you ever fucked your father? And then the next title card later on says, have you ever hit your mother? Or I think that's what the second one says. But, like, fucking, so I thought, and those are the only 2 in the movie, but I didn't realize how clearly the have you ever fucked your father was until you go on and it makes it obvious.
The microphone up his ass, was he that reporter, or is he just the
He was the reporter. Yeah, dude, they all look the same, dude. I'm sorry. Like, it's not even racist. It's just like they film from far away. It's very small pixels, and they all have the same haircut. Like, it's hard to do.
Same suit. They're all wearing the same clothes. It's fucking
but
difficult.
he's watching her. You're supposed to infer. you have to infer that that's him because he's watching it and he's going and he's looking at it with shame in his eyes.
I thought like
I
that
mean,
was
I
his
had
thing.
to
I thought
physically
like his
bring
emotion.
myself to infer it, Cass.
No,
Like I
because
couldn't just infer it. I had to think about it.
he films his son getting bullied too, so I thought his whole thing was like I must capture like the suffering of mankind. And I thought he was the guy behind the camera, and he put that dude into a position where he would get fucked with and anally sodomized. I thought he was like, but it's not. So he's just a bumbling idiot who just gets abused, and he's not like pushing for abuse to capture it. There's no art behind it. He's just it's chaos.
Yeah, because like he gets hit in the head with a rock, and Visitor Q hits him in the head with a rock, and he's like, "Oh, you want to come over for dinner?"
This is Slacker.
He doesn't even say you want to come over for dinner though. He's just over at his house all of a sudden, eating his fucking food.
He's like, "Oh,
yeah." He probably just followed him home.
I'm your friend, or something. No, this is Slacker.
Yeah, he was God. I think he was like God or Loki or something.
Things just
that was what I got out of him.
No, he's just
something like that. This movie legitimately felt like it was directed, like it was made by aliens. I guess that was what I liked about this was it made like it felt like it was made like.
Wait, no.
Well, not aliens.
To me, it felt like it was made by similar feeling, but to me, it felt like it was made by the Japanese.
Yeah, it felt like it was made by a misogynistic Japanese guy.
I haven't seen a lot of Japanese movies, honestly.
There was no doubt in my mind.
The Japanese ones I've seen were good.
Was it?
No,
you know, most of the like great Asian movies I've seen outside of like Kurosawa shit and like Izo shit is like fucking usually Korean. So yeah, no, I guess I haven't seen that many Japanese movies.
Well, I just mean like it felt like aliens wanted to make a drama about humans, and they just saw they saw it through like just a fucked up lens, and it was all distorted. This is like the movie they would make, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's just a weird fucking movie, and I don't know how he came up with it. But
this is too uncomfortable.
There was one horny boy who probably wasn't hungry.
You don't think AI could make this, Brant? I think AI could make this.
No, I mean not really, but like maybe like the.
I couldn't. Yeah, no, exactly. I couldn't make this. I couldn't put a plot together with these scenes and make myself feel comfortable going to an actress and being, "Hey, I got a role."
Yeah, that's good. Hey, I want you to do this. Yeah, I'm gonna
enthusiastically. Yeah. Hey, listen. How do you feel?
What's your opinion on milk?
Hold up a target and be like, "Start squeezing your nipples." I just want to see if you can get it from here. Because if you can't, it's looking for the role.
I want to see your nipples. That's it. Yeah, it's way too uncomfortable.
They were fake tits, right? They were fake tits.
Reasons.
Fake tits, fake milk, right?
Maybe fake
nipples. They might have been real tits. Yeah, they might have been fake nipples. I don't know. They were really big, but like I've seen some weird nipples.
Those tits looked so real.
People have weird nipples.
That was hard. Those are whoever did that. If they were fake tits and fake and like fucking just like with like a guy with a fucking like jar of fucking milk on the other side with a tube. Like if that was how it worked,
find that out. Yeah, no, actually, it was done pretty well. It didn't look like you couldn't see a tube or like makeup or anything like that. It actually looked like milk coming out of tit.
Yeah,
it was good. That looked good. And that was totally, at the very least, the second scene with the trash bags was most likely fake. But the thing, the leaking out of the close-up...
That was so fucking uncomfortable.
That was when I was yelling at the screen, being like, why? Why do you want me to look at this? Why? Leave me alone.
When she's like in the trash bag dress and she just like rips her tits out and just starts milking herself until like...
that was something.
I was like, what the
And then they're cross-cutting that with him fucking the corpse, who at the time I thought was his daughter.
Just a lot going. This is like this. Oh, it's Rob Zombie's. It's Rob Zombie's stupid fucking torture porn. But it's just like, hey, how uncomfortable can I fucking make you? It feels like
it's like a Japanese fucking Lars Van Trier with like a fucking $400
psychological torture porn. It's Jacob's Ladder. It's fucking a Serbian film. It's just like it's
done competently. It's competently made. It's a competently done.
Oh yeah, no, this guy knows what he's and like plot wise, the reveal of characters. If you can not be racist long enough to figure out who the characters are, which Brant failed at, but I actually succeeded at this time.
Same.
I didn't have too much of a problem.
But, well, that's because you watch a lot of fucking hentai cats. Like, you know the differences.
Yeah,
You've seen
no,
them.
I have my
watch a lot of
differentiation.
I watch a lot of Japanese
But if
porn
anything,
too.
Okay, let's
better.
not flex on this. We don't
Listen,
need to like start pulling out our Asian repertoire.
they got faces that look different.
Have
These
either
guys
of
just
you
did
guys
it.
ever fucked an Asian? I fucked an Asian once, so I think I'm ahead.
An Asian
on that,
what?
by the way. It was a Filipino, so
That's the count it all. Fuck off. That's
Asian.
You asked that like you got like an Asian pig from the market and you just fucked that or something like an Asian
know.
what like an Asian
Chinese.
He sure like had a well I think he was asking for like,
Korean,
sort of
Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Laotian. There's a lot of stuff it could be. Whatever. I don't fucking care.
Laotian,
Korean,
King of the Hill,
Hong Kongan.
He's not Asian. He's Laotian.
Laotian. Well, either way though, like I think she counted.
Indian.
Yeah, no, this was like Shame the movie. Like this was just like a lot of shame. Like every scene, shame. Just like that scene where the kid like honestly, this one like snuck up on me as being one of the more fucked ones. But the scene where like all of those dudes were like fucking like watching because it comes like after like 4 other really fucked up scenes. But the scene where all the bullies are like fucking making the kid shit and then they piss all over him when he can't. Like that was fucking that was so shameful. And then they cut to your dad and a reporter raping. Like, dang,
killing her.
That is so shameful.
Just kills her.
I know that was shameful. That one hurt, but it wasn't as bad because the son was such a dick. It was honestly the mom beating scenes where no one's doing it.
The mom beating
that got really to me the most. Where I was just like, oh, that. Yeah. No, someone help her. Someone.
Another thing I really liked about this movie that's worth pointing out is the scene where the mom whips the shit out of the fucking guy she's prostituting herself with so she can buy heroin. It's like it doesn't. I just love that it doesn't show her face because it feels like she's getting into it when the hits start going. It doesn't show what her face is doing. She could either be crying or smiling, and that would change the story based on what face she's making. But it doesn't show her face, and I was
it's
like,
just an act.
Cool.
There's no emotion behind it. There's no need to show that. It's just so she can get money to get heroin. It's like the ass to ass scene.
Well, What's funny? The funny part about that scene also is what would be the shameful scene in a lot of movies. This woman prostituting herself out and whipping a guy, so she can get heroin, is actually the most.
But that was like
scene in the movie. The guy in the movie. Yeah, the guy is that guy is the most human character where he's just like,
he really is.
You have bruises
I
on
felt like that was where the movie was going to go.
He was being nice to her, and he was like, I think you're beautiful. And it's like, oh, you shouldn't. He's like, you should go get help. Look at you. You have these beating marks, and it's like, you should stand up for yourself. And it's like, now I want you to hit me and make me your little piggy.
Yeah.
And honestly, the scene where the son is laying face down in the milk and like making snow angels, like that is honestly one of the best villain comeuppances I have seen in my life. Like that is literally fucking. You're gonna beat your mom. How about you just lay down in the tit milk, bitch?
Weird.
How about you just lay down in the tit milk, and then you'll realize you gotta go to school.
Ooh, karma.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. No, that was the climax, honestly.
His comeuppance came immediately. Like, the moment after he beats her, he comes up there, and the bullies shoot, like, all the fireworks into his room after he puts on his little gas mask or whatever. It's immediate. It's like, fuck this kid. No one should like this kid. He gets bullied. He's a dick to his mom. He's a...
Yeah, I know, but I just like that he realized it at the end, and all it took was bunch tit milk. Bunch tit milk.
Yeah. And Visitor Q. Visitor Q just had
the juice in the tit milk, which makes it a little.
Oh man, when he fucking,
now it's fun.
Yeah.
When Visitor Q got all sexual with him too, and he walks in, he comes into his room and just like starts touching him and like taking his shirt off.
You know what this movie kind of reminds me of? Is like to go on another Darren Aronofsky reference, like fucking. This is like Mother.
Sure.
Darren Aronofsky had a boner the whole time for a reason other than he loved his own movie.
Because Scarlet,
Yeah.
no, that's Scarlet. What the fuck was her? Who was in Mother?
No, Jennifer, that was J-Lo.
Oh,
J-Lo. He was like, I
J-Lo,
saw the
yeah.
fappening pics, J-Lo. Let's see them titties for realsies.
No, it's not J-Lo, Brandon. It's J-Law.
Yeah.
J-La.
I'm sure somebody's jerked off to Mother before. Somebody has watched Mother where she's just like getting beaten by the entire crowd, and somebody jerked off to that.
Well, there's a baby dick in it, and you can look that up without like going to jail. So like, people have definitely jerked off to that.
That's true. And the baby dick pees. Like that baby's pissing all over the place.
The baby's just pissing
that was terrible.
Did
I
ever
jerked
tell you
off
how
to
I
like
saw that?
Scary Movie 3 before. Like it's like every movie you can jerk off to if you just if you get hit.
What part of Scary Movie 3 did you jerk off to? And somebody jerked off.
I don't remember. Well, there's a baby that fucking like look that up without like going to jail. Hot and heavy things going on. People definitely jerk. I don't remember.
That's true. And the baby did cheese. Like that baby's pissing all over the place.
The baby's just.
My only porn as a kid for a while was jerking off the very sex scene in Monster Ball, and that meant seeing Billy Bob Thornton in his like weighty tighties and like his ass just showing. And so for a while, I just jerked off to like Billy Bob Thornton just railing Halle Berry.
Oh, that's funny.
That was like the only VHS tape we had that I could think that I knew about that had a good sex scene.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's it. But man, like my first consistent like going and looking and jerking thing was I would used to just Google lesbians on Google Image, and I would just like sit and like hot girls kissing, and then next thing would be like Rosie O'Donnell, hot girls kissing, Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh yeah.
Just like.
Oh yeah. Well, I would print out stuff from the library. Go to school and just like look up I would look up lesbians, bring it up, and then print it out at the library, and then just take that home.
Girls Gone Wild had a free website.
That's your
terrible.
You could always
yeah,
go
no,
there.
that was literally schooling.
That's for learning, bud.
School ink? Oh, you were at the library at the school. You dirty little bird.
No.
Could you imagine?
Well,
Did you ever get caught?
The best part was it. Well, like I couldn't even get like actual like nude pictures. I couldn't get nude pictures because it was like I didn't know the trick to get past the firewall, whatever. And so I would just look up like lesbian positions.
HTTPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. But like I would go to Wikipedia and just look up different like sex apps and just like get the
I got some
Wikipedia pictures.
reading about masturbation before on Wikipedia. That article was hard. They tell you a lot.
Yeah, no, that's what. See that, and basically, I think the director of this movie, what's his name? I'm blanking on his name, but he probably just like thought about all the things he wants to masturbate to.
Takashi Mike.
And he was like, "I'm gonna make that into a movie."
Takashi Mike.
Yeah, it's like Mike Tyson, but because it's Japanese, it's like backwards, and it's got a kaka in there, like a katana.
Kaka. Yeah, that's what happened.
That's how the Japanese do things. They're different from us. We nuke them twice. They all have a little bit of radiation poisoning.
Not all of them. Enough of them to make a difference.
I guess, man. No. Maybe, because like that, like generational trauma stuff that a lot of people like to do for the black peoples and stuff. Do you think that could like work for like nuking someone? That it would like it just would change
literally
them?
Like I was literally just listening to a podcast about this.
Doesn't work.
Historical shit of how the fucking like nukes affected all the Japanese people is fucking fascinating.
They changed.
Because like they blew up
hard.
like in the air. And they would just like rain down and like that's one of the things I was saying last time we talked about this. Where like if like we nuked like Saudi Arabia or something now, everybody would have smartphones. There'd be like all these like live streams, and you could see how fucking crazy it was with people like running through the streets, just slowly melting, just getting their insides fucking chopped up by the fucking air. It's crazy.
Glass.
Coming out like bullets of fucking atoms flying through the air and just like wrecking trees and shit around. You're just like, damn, it's fucking crazy.
Godzilla out of it though. So we got. Honestly, if it wasn't for the nukes, we wouldn't have gotten Godzilla.
It wasn't just the nukes, because right after the nukes, the fucking emperor, who everybody worshipped as a god at the time, had to come out and say, "All right, guys, it wasn't a god." And then he went and lived in a cabin for a while. He was like, dude, that is. The Japanese went through some shit, and that's why they're both like they're just so good at so much shit, but also so fucking crazy on so many levels. Like it was and before that there was the millennia of isolation they had. Like it was like they're a fascinating people. They're interesting boys in Japanese.
There were like the big like Mangala type fucked up Nazi science shit happen was like them.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah, they were. They're monsters. They're monsters. In all honesty.
Yeah, no, they believed that they were like
behind the sun stuff, right?
The what?
Yeah. No, there's like a movie called The Men Behind the Sun. I'm pretty sure that like details all that shit that they did. I haven't seen it, but
no, that sounds interesting.
Like if you Chinese are locusts, like they're actual like locusts. They're insect people, but like the Japanese were fucking demons.
They gotta get clean.
They were monsters.
I don't know. See, like, because a lot of like, do you remember like the Chinese foreign exchange students we had in school? They hated the Japanese because of the rape of Nanking and all that shit. Which I mean, like 70 years, bro. But like, whatever.
Yeah,
like, just saying.
I don't know. We
also they have like,
we still bitch about Pearl Harbor. Fuck. I mean, come on.
Do people still bitch about Pearl Harbor unless if you're not like just talking to somebody who is either A, there, or B, just loves just fucking like rooting. Just loves rooting. Just loves being like fucking those guys.
I haven't heard anybody be mad about Pearl Harbor in a while. I don't think if ever.
So Rape of Nanking. I mean, the Holocaust was around this. What was the last big thing? Oh, the Hutus and Tutsis was a pretty big genocide, I guess.
Well, but that's it depends on like that one was about that shit. Dude, there are genocides all fucking day, every day, all around the world, dude. Like literally, like if you look into it, like fucking, we lift up occasional
one right now.
There's like all the shit going on in Yemen. There's the Eastern China shit. Like there's so much fun. Like right now, there's all sorts of goodies. I think there's some African shit going on.
Yeah. There's some child soldiers killing some other child soldiers, right? This very second.
I would.
Who do you think would win? A bunch of like 5-year-old soldiers? Who do you think would win? A bunch of like 405-year-old soldiers or 490-year-old soldiers? Who do you think would win? Now it's moved up to 7-year-old, not 5. 7-year-olds.
Can we do 12-year-olds?
Nah, because the 12-year-olds would destroy it, dude. The 12-year-olds would destroy it. I've like fucking worked with 12-year-olds. Fucking pile drive me if they
I don't know, 7-year-olds, dude. Like, I feel like
7-year-olds. Like that's when you're like
they can do shit.
That's when you point the gun at your friend that you found in your dad's safe and you kill your friend is when you're 7 and have a gun. But like 10, they could at least not just kill each other.
10-year-olds would destroy the 90-year-olds potential. I don't know, man. Depends on the 90-year-olds at this point. That's a different generation.
You, Charlie, started
what weapons do they have?
No, not even
do they all have
90-year-old. That's like I was in fucking Korea.
I was Korea.
Do they all have guns? Do they have swords? What kind of fight is this?
Guns. It's all
guns.
It's all
no, I'm talking about classical. Like we'll just go with like classic fucking like mid 20th century warfare. Just guns.
So
guns, trenches,
drone
guns,
strikes.
trenches. No drone. Mid 20th century. Mid.
Yeah, the 7-year-olds are really going to cut
mostly guns and a little bit of air support.
Yeah, biplanes.
But the air support is either flown by 90-year-olds with heart conditions or 7-year-olds. Yeah, so most of the air support is gonna be kamikaze.
Doesn't even take off. That would be pretty funny. Fuck. I think that
all we gotta do is we just gotta use them like cars and run over everybody.
I'd rather have the 90-year-olds. Yeah, the 90-year-olds honestly would probably do a better job. Like a 90-year-old with really good aim is going to take down so many. No, because the 90-year-olds are going to know what they're doing.
People. Either way, there's going to be 20 motherfuckers that are standing.
How old was that kid in the new Nathan For You episode that was calling him daddy?
One. Oh, that kid was about 6. That kid was 6.
So 7. Yeah, no,
the 9-year-old 7. 7, dude, like that's a big jump, dude. 6 to 7 is a big jump.
Not at all. Fucking kids are dumb until they at least hit like fucking 10.
Nah, 10-year-olds is when they.
10-year-olds are still pretty dumb. I don't know.
They're a little not.
I think you're stupid until you're like 24.
Maybe that 6-year-old was just like incredibly. His mom did look like she probably drank when she was pregnant with him.
I haven't seen this episode.
Oh.
I've only seen the first 2. What?
Yeah, what? The connection is just dying
fucking
on
chopped
everyone's
out.
end.
Damn. I think everybody was talking and nobody heard what Amy was saying, so there you go.
No, you just cut out completely, Dwayne.
Do we have anything more to say about Visitor Q? Is Visitor Q discussed?
It's uncomfortable.
Or is there any other tidbits?
There's a lot of tidbits.
Yeah, Grant didn't like it, I gather.
So it's just uncomfortable.
Did you not like it?
Those titty bits.
Not really.
It was uncomfortable, but the ending kind of saved it for me. The ending it was like raw for me, where it was the ending really saved it because it gave it a weird meaning in a weird way.
They're all bad people. I didn't feel
they are bad people, but they came together and like they were so crazy by the point that the mom was just like dumping vinegar on him and giving him heroin so his dick would pop out of the corpse. At that point, it was a cartoon to me, so I was kind of willing to accept them as like as a metaphor at that point.
Grant, at the end of the day, it's about family. It's about family.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters. Family, tit milk, 3 rocks. That's all you need.
No.
And abusing women.
So, yeah, like Each of the Killer was fine. I liked that one enough. This was just odd and uncomfortable and just over the top. You know, I don't know. It was just not for me.
Each of the Killer was too perfect. Each of the Killer, there's no reason to even do that because it's too perfect of a movie. I don't see why you'd want to touch it.
It's great.
This movie, I'd like to know what you would do differently for this movie, actually, Brent.
Let me tell you.
We can start with you.
Let me tell you now.
Let's hear it.
I'm thinking, we had a lot of we'll say illegal things happen in this movie, and I think what the problem for me was I have such an at least European or American palate for the weird and uncomfortable and illegal. And I was like, oh man, like if only we could kind of make this more in the States. And then it hit me. What if all of this took place, but as politicians during the January 6th insurrection, and we call it Visitor QAnon?
See, I thought that was what this movie was about when you initially pitched it.
They would like break in and they would actually get to like underneath the Congress or whatever fucking building it was, Senate, and then like they would see like it would be like an entirely different world where politicians like go and retreat like mole men at the end of the day, and it would just be like one lone reporter with his camera seeing all this weird shit happen, like Nancy Pelosi milking her gigantic titties just forever in a big pool of her own milk. And of course a lot of corpse raping.
So it's not his family. It's not the reporter's family anymore. Now it's the Oval Office.
Well,
the
you know what? Here's the thing, though. Like, a lot of politicians are family politicians. Clintons, Cheneys, Bush, the fucking... I'm sure the Trumps will be in there soon. Romney's, too. You know, all of this. So what if it's the reporters, like one of the Kennedys or something, who's going in there? You're like, you know what? I always wanted to do the eyes wide shut thing. I want to see what's going on and all this weird, crazy stuff.
So
it's kind
the reporter he's not like fucked up like that. Because in the movie, like, he's doing the reporting and it's really weird because like he could just intervene and like help his kid. So he's kind of like fucked up about doing it.
True, but this is an American version, and I think it would kind of muddy the waters too much and make people too uncomfortable if there was too much like familiar bond, because we're going to be the reporter's going to be us, he's going to be the eyes, it's going to be like found footage type stuff. So if there's a connection, it's really going to turn off a lot of viewers, and we might not like it a very open reception at theaters. So
Grant, I kind of want to combine this.
Don't want to paint reporters in a negative.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. We want to keep the media on our side for this one, but we want to feed into.
They're the real truth tellers, dude. They are the heroes. They speak truth to power.
Yeah,
they are truth tellers.
We don't want to feed too much into the disinformation, but we want to kind of support it to monetize it.
Well, okay, so Brant, how do you want to get the rape culture out of this movie?
No, it's going to be presented, but as a bad thing.
Pretty toxic.
We're going to have all the Republicans raping.
Yeah.
Rape and concept.
Yeah, that's okay.
There's the AOC's just in the bathroom like, oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be like it's.
Eric's live streaming.
Yeah, no.
She's like, "Look at that big fucking knife."
As soon as the Capitol starts getting stormed, Mitch McConnell just looks towards the door and unzips and walks towards the ladies' room.
It's time. So, I was gonna say, fuck. I totally lost it. But yeah, no, all the Republicans, it's easy. Fuck, what would the Democrats be doing then? Oh, so I don't know if you guys. I got it back. Wait, 1 second. Shut up. So do you know? I don't know if either of you were alive. Shut the fuck up! I don't know if either of you were alive or remember the points where there was smoking and non-smoking in restaurants, but that would kind of be the thing where it's like raping and non-raping.
Once and it was still... The raping section was my favorite section as a child.
Yeah.
Then I realized what they were doing.
I was like, oh, the Pope, what are you doing here?
Just playing games.
He's like, you! Get it?
I thought
doing you. I'm gonna fuck you, kid. But yeah, that's my idea. That's it. I'm not gonna dedicate a whole lot of memory to Visitor Q, and I watched it a while ago.
So
I don't think you can help but dedicate some amount of memory. I feel like some of these scenes are gonna stick in your head. I don't think you're gonna forget Visitor Q entirely.
Yeah, you can't forget it very well.
That most said, I don't really remember anything from Ichi the Killer.
So I remember enough of it now.
That's fair.
So, and you're probably wondering, Cats, well, who's Visitor Q in this scenario? And of course, it's Baked Alaska. Yeah. Duh.
Okay, yeah, that's a redeeming quality immediately. What if he just
hits all the politicians with a rock, or he hits like Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell with a rock, and then they come back and they're like, "Guys, we got to stop stealing money. Guys, we got to start being good politics. Let's make us illegal." And
you know what? Yeah, let's just scratch out the whole Kennedy thing. Let's just have it be it's Baked Alaska when he stormed on January 6th, but it's like out of his van when he's doing the podcast thing or whatever.
Can we milk Baked Alaska in the movie? Can we milk Baked Alaska, but instead of milk, it's pepper spray?
I think Nick Fuentes probably milks Baked Alaska.
I would love to see Baked Alaska. Nick Fuentes. Ooh.
Yeah, Nick Fuentes just like churning butter
with
out of Baked Alaska bits.
I want to see you churn, Republican boy. And also, like, so that was another thing I noticed about Visitor Q too, was like that scene where he's getting raped with the microphone by the bros, and they're like, "Bark like a dog." I guess that's the Japanese version of "Squeal like a pig."
Bark like a dog. Yeah, it just doesn't hit right. It doesn't hit the same.
You know why though? Because we eat pigs and they
eat. That's Chinese. Maybe it's also because they're saying it in Japanese.
Yeah.
Doesn't that joke? I know it's racist either way because it's a racist joke. But doesn't that joke work with all Asians? You know, like because like it's racist. Yeah, it's a racist joke, right?
Yeah. No, it works. It works with them all.
No, you gotta be specific with your racism. You can't just blanket statement. The Asian culture is rich and varied. You have to be specific when you're being racist towards them. There's a difference between gooks, chinks, nips, and naps.
Yeah, but don't you think it's more racist to get your racist insults like wrong though? I feel like that's insult to injury.
Because you don't know enough about
so if you're really going,
but if you're making a racist joke, like you're in the water, start swimming. You know, like just fucking go for it.
Yeah.
It's it doesn't matter what Asian it is. It's still a doggy paddle when you're in there.
Dwayne, what's your idea?
All right, I hate to keep fucking falling back on this for foreign movies,
musical,
but
isn't it?
The major weirdness. What?
It's a musical, isn't it?
No,
is it a musical?
That would probably be even cooler, but I think in order to like pitch that, I'd have to have like some good like bombastic dance numbers in mind or something. Which, I mean, like then you're just kind of Sweeney Todding at that point because like this movie's essentially doing a lot of Sweeney Todding. But fucking either way, my idea like that I was going off of that I feel like I do a lot with the fucking European or foreign-y shit is just an Americanized remake. An Americanized remake of it with the like particular social shit of like an American fucking kid who's like getting fucked with by bullies and all that shit. And I just want to turn the dad angle into him like fucking being on social media, like fucking like if he was like filming that in front of his family or whatever and being super cringe. I don't know. I haven't really have a fucking thought out. Like I don't have much of a thought out through here thing on this, but
Just
like, that was
Americanize
essentially the juice of it. Americanize it, Americanize, because like the culture of just like that kid disrespecting his mom. Like fucking, I'm surprised it's flying in Asia because that wouldn't fly in the States. Maybe that's okay in Japan. That wouldn't fly in the States.
It's a black kid, so it's just a black family in Alabama. Is that what you're saying?
No, I said Americanized, Brant.
Yeah, what's more American than a bunch of?
Was that not American?
Yeah, racist.
Yeah, that was
a bunch of darkies in Alabama.
When I think of Americans, when I read, that was one of the parts where I realized I was racist when I was a kid. Was I was reading Holes, and there's a bunch of black kids in there, and I just like until they said they were black, I just assumed the whole book they were all white. Just every one of the book was white, just because I just pictured that in my head. I don't know. I was just like, because I'm from fucking Butte, Montana, and everybody was white, so I was like, fucking, that would be weird if they threw in some other shit. Let's keep it realistic.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I mean, he's got social media. It's like, what?
No, go on.
I was hoping you had like some sort of direction to throw me at there, because I'm really treading water right here. So I'm thinking like the social media angle would add a lot of weird shit too, because like all the shit he's doing where he's trying to film all this shit would be in front of people. You could add in a comment section. I'm not sure what that would help, because this is a difficult movie to remake, cats. Because like it's absurdist, but it's also like particularly like the engine in it is like all about like fucking this kind of like voyeuristic porny shit, man. Like, I don't know, if you Americanized it, maybe you could just like make the boners more obvious. Cause like, I don't know, that's another thing about watching this movie. It's like some parts of it, like I feel like it would be more obvious how tongue in cheek it is if you like watched it and you were Japanese earlier on. But like fucking, it took me a while to realize how much of a joke it was. So I don't know. If you made it more American, you could tell.
Well, that's why I say it's like, I mean, I feel like it would have, if it was American and it was done well, like it had like a happiness kind of vibe to it, I feel like. If
this movie had a happy ending, too.
That would be the best translation.
That was the weirdest thing about this movie. Yeah. Like, most movies that are this disgusting and make you feel this disgusting don't make you leave it, like, with a tiny little tinge of this weird, like, well, that was a happy ending. Because it was literally a happy ending. Yeah. I like Brant's idea better, dude. Like, because like the idea is he was saying like fucking if you milk Mitch McConnell, then like we're making a better movie than what I'm saying. So that's all I got. I tried, man. I believed. I tried.
We're gonna
at least I didn't just say like how could you even remake What Is a Woman by Matt Walsh? How could you even do it? Fuck you, Brant. Fuck you.
It's Matt Walsh makes perfect media. What can I say? I could never touch that.
How can we combine Matt Walsh and
Initially, I think what I was going to do was I was going to just to piss you off more, I wanted to make my Visitor Q remake a documentary, a Louis Theroux documentary.
We should just only do Louis Theroux documentary.
There you go. What if it was like? What if Visitor Q was like The Office? Well, like, what if Visitor Q was actually just like the documentary crew?
That was what it was. That was kind of
what I was
going with the American remake. Is like instead of it being like him just being like, "Whoa, look at all this! I'm being so bullied. I want to be on the news." It's a more modern fucking thing where he's just like they're basically just doing like a The Office kind of fucking like self-interview sort of thing where he's just like, "Well, my son beats my wife," and then like fucking cuts to this, and like it's all like Modern Family in the way it's shot, and like he's just like, "When
I like that idea better than
hit by a rock." It's like,
that's really good.
I like that. Yeah,
I think that was pretty good. I just fucking
that would be really funny.
This is why I write things down. I didn't write it down this time because I was thinking I would remember, but that was the reason I liked that idea. Was it was entirely based on that Office shit.
Dark.
It was just that. A little bit more of like a fucking clear, just like fucking. He's just because like he even does that. Like if you just like that part in Visitor Q where he's fucking the body and he's like talking to the camera and he's like, "Oh, I'm lasting. I'm so long," and all the like just all that. If you just made that more of like a what, like well, that was great. Like just like a little bit like you're doing all this and then you just cut to like the corny like fucking like fake reality show thing where it's like I didn't even know what I was doing.
Yeah,
no, if it's The Office,
and then I
it's more going to be like
warm, but.
A zoom in over shoulder to like the mom or the son, and they're gonna be doing the Jim face right at the camera while he's fucking the corpse.
Exactly. Yeah. No. So he's just he's just sitting there. And he's just sitting there. And you could also make it more of like a thing where like they just like maybe the more that Visitor Q fucks with her life, the more they Jim. And instead of her just being like how they're having their house blown up, and the mother and Visitor Q are just sitting there fucking like stone facing and eating their noodles. Maybe in this case, like the more self-aware you are of the universe, the more you Jim, and she could just be like milking and just being like,
that happens.
Yeah, and then like she gets beaten by her son. She gets beaten by her son, and they just cut to like her in her bedroom, and she's like, "Well, shooting up heroin again. Shoot, guess I'm just gonna take some heroin."
Jim faces right at the camera.
That's the American way we could do that probably.
And she could just be like sitting there, like doing her, like putting like the bar or whatever on her body, like fucking soothing the wounds. And she's like laughing and telling a story. And then like he just like comes in, fucking the door just like opens up, shadow fucking over, and he just like starts beating her. And then just cuts to her being like, "It happened again."
Oh yeah, there's no way.
So
it's like really, really brutal, but just with this kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it needs like the opening credits need to have like the Office like kind of like theme song kind of music.
Yeah, no, it could be that even, but then, like it could even be the Office theme song just with like that fucking like Asian-y sounding instrument where it's like boom.
Yeah, no, they need a gong sound effect for whenever something really
that's the Jim
happens.
face sound effects. That's like gong zooms in.
Yeah, no, zoom in. Yeah. Well, honestly, though, if we see, it is supposed to be an Americanized remake. It might be like putting a little bit too much curry powder.
There's nothing more American than taking an element of action from a totally different culture, because I think the gong is Japanese, and putting it on to your American version for this other culture.
Yeah, no, I think that's what we do. We just take
it's like American Chinese food, like beef and broccoli and shit or whatever, or like crab rangoon, or it's like when you go to a Chinese buffet, they have sushi there.
Can you imagine that shitting scene if it was in like a Will Ferrell or like a fucking like Judd Apatow kind of movie? It's like, it's on my head.
She won't stop shitting. Oh, so much shit.
Who's the American cast then? Who's
Seth
in this
Rogen,
cast then? Like, who's
Jonah
the American
Hill.
Visitor Q?
Taking up sleep.
Yeah.
You might as well have Jim. Like, John Krasinski can be fucking Visitor Q. And then, like,
that's true.
Amy Schumer, dude. Amy Schumer would elevate this piece. Or Kaylee Cuoco from Big Bang Theory.
Mom?
Yeah, and then we have fucking, and then we have the dude, the fucking, then we have
McCarthy as the mom. That'd be great.
Big Bang, the young boy.
Oh.
Young Sheldon, that's his name, Sheldon.
Young Smeldon, more like.
Yeah.
That guy. Do you think gay people in Hollywood, because that's why I asked the question, but do you think gay people in Hollywood like get like bang women like in secretive ways? Like, do you think they ever do that and just like, oh, this can't get out? Like they just do straight stuff like secretly? Like it's the 50s.
Why would they do that if they're gay, though?
Because they're not actually gay. Because it was made up, conditioned by the whites. I believe it was the whites.
I feel
I'm trying
like,
to remember a documentary.
Yeah, I feel like if you were gay, or if you were presenting as gay, and then you just wanted to like fuck him, and then I would just say like, well, I was just trying it out. Like, and then that's all you really have to say, though. It wouldn't be that.
Well, dude, like, how disappointed would so many gay people be if, like, fucking, like, Elton John just, like, got, like, fucking, just, like, had a video come out of him just, like, getting his fucking dick sucked by a hoe, dude.
Yeah, Elton John. Elton John's just got his own like Hunter Biden laptop, and just drops all
Yeah, no,
over
but
it,
his
like
undivided
having sex
laptops
with
just seem like
women.
fucking straight, just the straightest sex you'll ever see. Just like
Straight.
hardcore, just fucking dick thrusting into some pussy. Just
Yeah.
like put fish hooking her and shit. Just like hardcore, straight shit.
Well, we win the war, because there's the war. There's the straight versus not straight war. When we win, we'll just like rewrite history, and all the gay people will be straight. We'll just make Elton John straight. We'll make
Well, what if that's
who else?
already happened in
Queen.
history and we just like decided we're gonna wipe them out? Because like if the gays and straights ever like fucking fought, like I hate to fucking say it, but I'm pretty sure the straights got an edge, dude.
Straight edge.
The straight edge.
The straight edge. We should write a book about that and why the straights would win the war against the gays, and why that's why no one should be gay because they don't want to be on the wrong side of that inevitable war.
Yeah, you don't want to lose. You want to be on the losing team.
You want to be on
Just
the right side.
Yeah, no. Well, and a chapter in that would just be like, we're going to take Elton John, and Elton John's going to be straight in our history books. So
exactly.
deal with the program.
So if you can go and bang all your dudes and have all your shit, we're gonna make you straight. We're like fucking go ahead, dude. We'll tell your kids how straight you were. Your adopted ass gay kids.
That's what's going to happen. What's going to happen? We're going to tear out all the gay statues, and we're going to put big erect boners looking at women.
I mean, like, what is a woman, though?
That's true. Brant, what do you think is a woman?
I think Matt Walsh should be drug out on the street by his fucking plugs. And then fucking his jaw should be torn from his paper mache skull. And then his fucking rest of his face should be smashed into the ground until it oozes jelly like a pinata.
That man has a reasonable skull, at least. You could say that. Like he doesn't seem like the soyest. Yeah. He has a reasonable skull.
He has big fat lips, though.
Matt Walsh definitely deserves plenty of fire. I feel like that's not. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's not deserving of that.
All right, fine. We just take like a leg.
Yeah, I feel like any
sure.
partisan should lose. Like all liberal partisans should lose their left leg. All conservative partisans should lose their right leg.
A leg to stand on.
And then when three-legged races come around.
Oh no! And then
and then we'll finally learn to love each other.
What if they just lobotomize them on the left hand or right hand side of the brain?
They're already lobotomized.
Right, like conservatives. Leftoids get lobotomized on the left hand side of the brain. Rightoids get lobotomized on the right hand side, and then everyone's just different types of retarded. How about that?
And we're just gonna have to make fucking what was that Pacific Rim type suits where we put them in mechs and then they combine right and left brain and then we can finally have and then they're the government. And
I like the leg idea because then you could have them you could force them to walk into Senate or Congress and they'd have to help each other. So a Republican and a Democrat have to both enter arm in arm using each other.
They wear one tie themselves with one belt. Be one nation.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Honestly,
they should just have no legs. They should have no legs.
No, because you need them to walk. Yeah. You need to have the legs. They need to be young and healthy to do it too.
No, they should be crawling around. They should in Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, where that guy's just hopping around on his no legs. Asking for change. They should
you're missing the symbolism for fucking silly nothingness.
Well, no,
I don't want the symbolism. I want them to hop around.
This right leg thing would turn into a Chinese finger trap sort of situation, but it's a never-ending Chinese finger trap, and it would truly show them to love.
You just have to keep politicians to keep themselves standing.
I'm gonna pretend Cats had the better idea there, so I can guarantee the dub.
Okay. Wait, what?
Speaking of ideas, I'm gonna say, Dwayne, you had I was going to go with Brant up until we concluded that it would be an Office-style remake.
I'm so glad you said The Office, because that was literally what I was fucking, I'm so glad you said that, because I had nothing until you're the one funny part of it.
After just imagining that, I think that would actually be very funny. So, I'm giving you the win, but Brant, You gave. I was thinking about just like Baked Alaska being visitor queue and just coming into like a family or something.
Macing
Whatever
them in the
fucked up thing that would
eyes
happen in that universe.
instead of hitting them in the head
Yeah,
with a
no, I
rock.
like that.
And also that works too because
Yeah.
like Baked Alaska literally would be live streaming the whole thing,
Mhm.
just like Visitor Q
Yeah.
was in the rape. You'd just be like,
What's up? What's going on?
fucking like,
Crazy.
whatever, you know, just like,
Yeah.
Whoa.
dude, Asians.
This
Hey, whoa,
What's
bro.
wrong with the Japanese, dude? Check this out.
is nuts, dude. Check
Yeah,
it.
no, he gets into the White House and he's like, base department, we're gonna have to get a domestic abuse on the line. Yeah,
Wild, man.
no,
This is crazy.
that would be pretty good. Call the milk department because this is it's overflowing over here. Yeah,
The dairy.
Well, that's a question, Brant. Would you rather kill Baked Alaska or Matt Walsh?
Matt Walsh.
Yeah, because Baked Alaska
definitely
is a
Matt
federal
Walsh.
Really?
agent. So I'd probably go to jail if I killed Baked Alaska.
Baked Alaska is in hell
No,
already.
that's why you need to kill Baked
Baked Alaska's
Alaska.
already
He's a
in
federal agent. Fucking Matt Walsh is just an agent
but
of the
is he-
Vatican.
Baked Alaska is already in a hell of his own making, and he looks more miserable now than he probably would be in hell even. So, like, it's better just...
It's better to
He doesn't look like he's doing well.
Sorry, buddy. Ooh, baby.
Is he in federal prison right now?
No,
he
he's gonna
chilling?
cop a plea deal and like fucking sell it a bunch
No,
of
he's
people.
not in prison right now.
Of course, yeah. And then he's going to go
Because he's-
live stream the next thing the
Because
government
he's a federal
stages.
informant like Nick Fuentes is.
Yeah. But he live streams to like 50, and I shouldn't say like only 50 people since we have like 0 people right now.
At least we have
But he live streams to
integrity.
like 50 people.
At least we got nuts.
Yeah, we're not doing...
Dude, I would kill for 50
Yeah,
people.
we're not-
Who do we gotta fuck to get 50 people?
Yeah, how can we get 50 people
You have to
watching?
fuck Nick
Hmm.
Fuentes. Dwayne,
We gotta,
you got
like,
a cat girl
Hey,
outfit?
everybody who's watching,
Yeah.
share this live stream. Share this podcast.
Share it to your friends and
Share it with your
family.
friends. Tell your family.
Yeah,
Tell your friends.
and if we haven't said it before, like, share, subscribe, smash that like button, pound that share
Smash that
button.
like. Fucking absolutely visitor Q that fucking like button. Find your nearest fucking rock
Yeah.
and your least favorite reporter and just smash that like button.
I want you
Make
to
it
milk
last
this
really
video for all the shares you can. I want you to milk this video. Share it all around. Let everyone take a sip.
My
Just
is it
like
my
the visitor
We
movie?
don't do anything to market this stuff. You know, we should probably like figure out some way to like show somebody this. Or just
Nah.
like, you think that's what
Maybe
you
when
would. I
Cass
mean, like
gets a
that sounds like
laptop.
what you do with like podcasts.
Maybe when both of you get like a working laptop or webcam that isn't fucking straight
Hey
dog
man,
shit.
I had
It ain't about the
technical
webcams. It's about the
capabilities.
sparkling commentary.
Sure, but it's hard when you can barely hear you because your fucking computer can't decide whether it needs to do audio or video more.
I didn't hear you.
Oh,
I can hear
fucking
everybody.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
Dwayne was a little choppy. I've been a little choppy
Am
too.
I a
That's
little
because I'm
choppy?
on.
Cats, you've been
on-
choppy.
You're
Yeah.
very choppy, Dwayne, too. You cut out, like I said, you cut out for like an entire like 3 minutes when you were talking.
Well, my laptop acknowledged that.
James.
Like, I was aware of that part. But the other parts I haven't. I
Okay.
feel like it's been relatively consistent. But maybe it's just chop
It's-
shit
it's pretty
city and this
good.
is just shit.
It's
Shit
my
stuff.
it's my movie now, right?
Yeah, I suppose
Yeah.
I
so.
guess what the
So,
movie's
oh,
gonna be based on how I'm dressed.
5 easy pieces.
Snatch.
Rock.
Time Bandits.
I don't know. what
That's
time
right.
it is.
That's
We're-
Time Bandits?
We're watching more midget movies. I've traded the
I like
monkeys
mi-
for
I like
midgets. I love midgets in movies now.
I love Time Bandits.
Yeah.
Oh no, dude! You can't get rid of the chimps though, because I love chimps. I love
Eventually,
monkeys.
I'll go back to monkeys, but for
Don't
now,
get
we're
rid of
doing
them.
Midget Mondays. Yeah.
But,
Well,
okay.
Brad, so where's what? Do one of the midgets dress like that? Is that why you're dressed like that?
There's like 7 midgets in this movie and a small child, and also it's very British. John Cleese.
Fran,
is
why
in
would
it?
you dress
No,
up? Why would you dress up for the movie you're going to introduce in the last 2 minutes of the podcast?
I didn't. I was just thought it would be funny to just misdirect
Oh,
you.
okay. Well, you just thought it would be funny to reference this movie we haven't seen. Maybe it'll be funny in retrospect.
No,
That'll
it's
be
not.
so
There's
funny.
nothing about how I'm dressed that would come up in Time Bandits. It's on HBO, And like Death to Smoochie, it's one of my childhood classics. I love this movie.
Is Time Bandits a fucking Terry Gilly?
It's Terry Gilliam.
I think so.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's really cool.
I
saw this movie as a kid. Yeah, this movie scared me as a kid. I remember that, and the ending, like, I just remember, like, do you remember, like, you saw it recently, I'm guessing, Brant?
No, I just know the ending by heart because me and my parents quote that shit to each other all the time.
I don't really, like, I've never really, like, whenever I watch The Meaning of Life, I skip a lot of the
This is not The Meaning of Life. No, this isn't that at all. This is a comprehensive narrative.
I know, I'm just saying, like, animation style.
But, Cats,
like,
the ending, I'm
it's
sure
always fucked with me. It's always been a little creepy.
I'm sure you remember
that's why I've never
watched it. Where, like, the dad and the mom are looking at the thing in the microwave. They're like, what's that? And he's like, don't touch it. It's pure concentrated evil. And, oh, what that?
Yeah.
And they just explode. That was the best.
I know.
And the kids left alone.
It's like I just remember as a kid, I didn't know how to process that. I sat by myself, just like didn't say anything for like an hour.
It's an amazing movie. There's
like,
decapitations and Minotaur, Napoleon. There's a drunk Napoleon. I fucking love Time Bandits.
Don't spoil, bro. I haven't seen.
Don't worry about it. There's a lot to watch.
Well, I also don't like. I will never remember anything anymore.
All right, that's it. Good night.
Is that really a good point to go out?
Goodbye. Poor
we didn't have
the intro music this time or the outro music.
Did you have anything better to drop? Well, I don't have any of that loaded up. We'll do better as I go.
Are we still out? Are we?
Did you have something you were going to say?
I thought.
Do you want me to, what were you going to say?
No, I just said like something needlessly depressing, and you just decided that was the fucking button. Like I feel like we might have one funny thing left in us if we talk for like 2 more minutes.
2 more minutes. 2 more minutes.
We're still alive right now?
2 more minutes and then what? Wow.
Dwayne's going to have something really funny to say.
We got something funny.
No, I'm not saying I'll have something funny to say. I'm saying the sparkling rapport.
The back and forth that we're so well known for. Yes.
Exactly.
Boy.
Your hat is stupid, Grant. Your hat is stupid, Grant. Oh my god. This fucking hat is stupid. Fuck you.
It looks good.
Fuck you and your stupid hat.
No, it looks good.
Man, why? Like, so that was a little. Honestly, I don't dislike that hat on you. I actually think it's actually a good hat on you to a certain extent, but it's definitely a choice. So, like, is that just what you're rocking now? Are you trying this hat?
No, I wore this Guinness shirt, and I was like, yeah, this goes with it, I guess.
It totally goes very well with the Guinness shirt. So you're okay. So it was a choice based on another choice.
It's called fashion, sweetheart. For someone who wears girls' dresses, I think you fucking know what that is. Wait.
Yeah. They're women's dresses, brands.
For someone who wears women's dresses and uses girls' makeup, you faggot, you should know what a shirt and hat combo is.
And
the liberal agenda. Technically,
I wish I could see you guys for this hot fucking shit.
We're so animated right now. Me and Brant are moving so much and like really like getting into
I can't see shit. My phone's all glitched out. I think